Hey, what's going on everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario, and I'm doing something here that I don't do as often as I used to, just kind of doing a bit of a gameplay commentary. So if you enjoy the gameplay, well, have fun enjoying it, and if you really don't want the gameplay, this is more to be consumed, I guess, a podcast type way, so you can go ahead and minimize it or go to another tab or whatever you want to do. But the point is, I'm going to be talking a little bit about my thoughts on Scalebound being canceled. Now, I've briefly talked about this before in my E3 2016 video. I probably brought it up in my 2014 videos for the Microsoft conferences, but in my 2016 video, I distinctly remember saying that I saw the gameplay for Scalebound, and I thought it looked interesting, and it was being developed by Platinum Games. It was definitely neat to see. However, I felt like, and I was very specific with this, I felt like the game was boring to watch. It seemed like it would be a fun game and very interesting, and, well, now it's canceled, so I'm not going to be able to get my hands on it, but I even said in that video, if I actually play this game, I'm sure I'll really enjoy it. But there's just some of those games that are kind of boring to watch, and to me, Scalebound was one of them, so unfortunately, I'll never have the opportunity to fully enjoy it. Some people probably thought the opposite. Some people thought that the gameplay was extremely awesome to watch, but I was just not one of those people. Now, yesterday while I was on Twitter, I saw early in the morning a few rumors saying that Scalebound might have been canceled internally, and I had a bad feeling about it when I decided to check out the Scalebound Twitter account, and it hadn't been updated since, I don't know, November of last year, so it's been about a month and a half, 2 months for a AAA game that hasn't updated anything on their Twitter account, which is quite concerning. I think there were a few retweets on there that were the last things, but the last original tweets from them were from November, and even if it was December, still, it's been about a month since they've tweeted anything, which is quite concerning, as I have said. I mean, normally, if there's a game that's coming out or a game that has come out and they have a dead Twitter account, I'm also thinking of a game that's released that would be No Man's Sky. It's just not shaping out to be a good situation in a day and age where we do and post everything and promote things heavily on social media. Unfortunately, a few hours later, these rumors were turning out to be true. It was announced officially from Microsoft that they had canceled Scalebound. Now, Microsoft Studios, who were publishing the game, ended up stating, and I quote, "After careful deliberation, Microsoft Studios has come to the decision to end production for Scalebound. We're working hard to deliver an amazing lineup of games to our fans this year, including Halo Wars 2, Crackdown 3, State of Decay 2, Sea of Thieves, and other great experiences," end quote. That's just such a disappointing thing to see. Not only due to the fact that this is a original IP and new AAA title that they were pushing and they were kind of banking on, something that people were excited for, it's another game that's canceled, and on top of that, those games right there, I mean, sure, I'm sure they're all going to be good in their own ways, but it seems kind of like they're just pushing those out there. It's like, hey, we canceled this game, but it's okay because we have these other games that are coming out. 3 of them are sequels, and 1 of them is going to be an original title, so I don't know, there's something nice about having an original title like Scalebound, and unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see that. And even worse with this is that it's going to affect not only, kind of, I don't want to sound dramatic, but a bit, the image of the Xbox brand and Xbox One, but also Platinum Games. Platinum Games hasn't really been doing too hot in terms of recent releases. Now, I know they've had several troubles in the past, and they've put out some excellent games. They've put out, Transformers Devastation, I believe, which I've played a good amount of, and I really enjoyed. They've released, of course, Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2. Bayonetta was okay, and I felt like Bayonetta 2 was a strong game. Unfortunately, even that game, it was picked up by Nintendo, and fun fact for anyone that doesn't know, a lot of people were quite upset that it was picked up by Nintendo and was going to be a Wii U exclusive when Platinum Games ended up coming out and they said, actually, unless, without Nintendo, Bayonetta 2 would have never happened. Sony wasn't interested in it, Microsoft wasn't interested in it, but Nintendo was going to help fund this game if we made it exclusive on their console, and we said yes. Now, it did sell a good amount, don't get me wrong, and it has been successful, but it didn't have Wii U's flying off the shelf, something that Nintendo was hoping to get, especially even with the Wii U, where they were saying, we wanted to have everything on there. I think even Reggie Fils-Aimé had said, before the Wii U had come out, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said something like, we've heard people, and people are saying, I want my Marios, I want my Zeldas, but I also want my Assassin's Creed and my Call of Duties on one system. Unfortunately, I mean, we kind of got a bit of that and it failed, and then that third-party stuff pulled out, but that's a whole other video that we can talk about, which I've actually mentioned a few times. But with recent releases from Platinum Games, the main ones being Star Fox Zero, Star Fox Guard, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan, I actually had to look up the name of that one because I couldn't even remember it, they have not been doing well at all. Like, I would say, Star Fox Zero, Star Fox Guard. I didn't play Star Fox Guard. I played a bit of Star Fox Zero, and I thought it was a fun game, but those games got average scores. And then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that just got panned all over. Fans hated it, and reviewers hated it, and people who were just, trying it also hated it as well. And I don't know what's going on, but it even got pulled digitally, so you can't buy the game digitally anymore. Which, for a game that came out last year from a big company like Platinum Games, that's pretty bad. I can't see anything good coming from that. Now, some people might also be saying reviews don't matter, scores don't matter, and they might even be calling me a hypocrite because I made a video a few years ago saying how review scores don't matter. To gamers and people who are playing and enjoying and consuming the media, in my opinion, the best review that you can make is either 1, watching and listening to trusted people, or 2, just playing the thing for yourself. There's been several games that have gotten bad reviews that I've thoroughly enjoyed, and several games that have gotten excellent reviews that I didn't enjoy at all. But you know what reviews matter to? They really matter to sales, and they matter to stakeholders and everything. And when it comes down to it, if they look at, if stakeholders are looking at this company, whether they are privately or publicly held, and they're saying that the past few games have been selling less and less, and they've been getting these low review scores, they're going to start pulling their funds out, and that's a bit of an issue as well too, and you start losing support. Now, Scalebound looked like it was going to be something quite neat, and also it was going to be a original IP that the Xbox One was going to have. That's something that the Xbox One definitely needs. You see, we really haven't had an insane amount of diversity until the original Xbox, if we're talking about the Xbox family. And that was mostly contributed to, well, I would say 2 things. One of them being Sega. Sega had a bunch of original IPs and a bunch of original stuff that they dumped onto the original Xbox. While as at the same time, when it first came out, the Xbox, yeah, it had games like Halo really pushing sales, but it wasn't recognized as the Halo box until, the rising of Xbox Live and how popular Halo 2 became. By the end of the original Xbox's life cycle, then at that point it was known as the Halo box, but it had a bunch of diversity. That diversity also leaked into the Xbox 360, I'd say, early into the life cycle and kind of, in the middle. But near the end, it became known as the Gears Halo Call of Duty box. And I guess if you're into Forza, Forza always sells really well. And that's a thing too that Microsoft, I can see, is really trying to diverse themselves with. And I know people are going to say there's different games, there's different types of games and everything on the Xbox One, and I'm not doubting that. I know there's been games like Recore that Recore did not do that well when it came to sales and when it came to reviews, but it's an original game that's out there. There's been other titles that have been coming to the Xbox One that are nice new original IPs, but people still look at it universally as, kind of the Gears Halo box in a way, and Microsoft is trying to branch off of that. And I'm not even saying anything from a fanboy perspective here, because personally I don't do the fanboy thing anymore. It's just I get all the systems, I enjoy what I play on them, but I'm not gonna lie, I have a preference for the PlayStation 4. And when I go to a game shop, whether it be Walmart or Target or GameStop, it's just insane to see the amount of titles and the amount of diversity on the PlayStation 4 versus the Xbox One. I mean, just seriously, if you go to a GameStop or some, just look at the two. Not only there's more games on the PS4, but you're going to see a lot more diversity there, and Microsoft wants some of that. Now, I've heard a few reasons as to why Scalebound might be canceled, but I know they're rumors, and that's the thing. I don't have anything that is, solid and concrete in front of me, and therefore I'm not going to repeat what I've heard because I really don't want to stroke the fire on there. But if anyone has any reliable sources and everything, I'd love to see them down below in the comments if you know, why it might have been canceled or what happened here, whatever it is. But point is, what I want to say here, it's extremely disappointing to see this game be canceled. This is actually a game I was looking forward to. I would have definitely picked it up. I would have played it, and it was looking to be a promising release from Platinum Games. not all of their games are excellent, not all of their games knock it out of the park, but for the most part, the games that I have played from them, I really have enjoyed, and this is just one of those things, it was going to be a exclusive right here, at least, in the Microsoft realm, a Microsoft exclusive, that's what I should properly say, and something that people were excited about. There's actually multiple people I've seen who have said, oh wow, I would have bought an Xbox One for Scalebound, but Scalebound's not coming out, so I guess I'm just not going to get an Xbox One. Now, those people, they could have also just played on PC whenever it was going to be ported there, but point is, nobody's going to be playing it now, and this is just, again, another, not only just a sequel, but an original IP that has been shown prominently for the past few years that is just gone, and that's unfortunate, whether it be from any company on any system. Anyways, let me know what your thoughts are on this. If you play primarily on Windows or you have an Xbox One, would you have picked up Scalebound? If you didn't, would you have gotten into that platform, so upgrading to Windows 10 or getting an Xbox One for Scalebound? Is it something that was interesting to you? If it wasn't, if it was, maybe why? I don't know, just talk about it. I'd love to talk about it with other people as well too. Plus, another thing, if you enjoy these gameplay commentaries, let me know if I should do more of them. I actually kind of shied away from them in 2016 because I made other content. That's why I really don't have an excuse for completely stopping them. But I know I've made much less of them than I used to before. So if you like them and you want more of them, let me know on that as well too. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, a like would very much be appreciated. And if you absolutely hated it and you hate everything about Scalebound, a dislike is fine too.